Hi, my name is Pete Sampson. I'm the owner-creator of My Music Office, an online way to organize your music program. In today's video, we're going to be going over the music library area of the system in detail. Here I am at the main menu, and if I click on the music library icon, it brings me to the music library. You'll notice that everything is in a list format. Very easy to see everything on the screen for you to see. Over on the right, you can choose how many items and which page you would like to view of your listing. And above that, you will see the Quick Title Select area where you can simply click on a letter and it will jump to all of the titles of music that begin with that letter. If you want to go back to the main area, just click Show All. Up on the top, you'll notice the menu system for the music library: Browse, Add New, Search, Reports, Assign, Transfer, and Options. We'll go through each one of those areas in just a moment. On this main listing, you can also sort by column by simply clicking on the header of the column, and then you will see it's sorted here by library ID. If I want to go back to Title, simply click Title. Over next to that, you will see checkboxes in which you can check on those, and down at the bottom of the screen, with the selected, you can do a mass delete on all the items that you wish to delete. To view a record, all you do is simply click on the Details button. It will then drop down and show you all of the details about that specific piece of music. You'll notice not everything's filled in, because you don't have to fill everything in. Only title is required in a music library record. But the more you put in, the more powerful the search function becomes here in a minute. You'll notice here we have two areas for media links. This is where you can put in a link to an MP3 as seen here, or a YouTube video, or even a score scan. Say you scan a score for Score Study, or say you put your scores on an iPad or any sort of tablet, and you have them in a Google Cloud on a G Drive or a Dropbox or something. You could put the link to that right here, and then when you're browsing through your music, you can not only be listening and looking through the score as you're trying to decide on what music you want to play. The other icons next to every record is the Edit and the Delete. Delete does just that, and Edit allows you to go through and edit the record. If I go up to Add New, you will see where I'm able to add a new record. Title is highlighted and in red because it is the only required field. Everything else is not required, but the more you put in, the more you will be able to use that search function effectively. If I type in the Composer field, you'll notice that a list of composers or arrangers pops down for you to be able to quickly choose from. So if you don't want to remember how to spell Tchaikovsky, or at least one of the spellings of Tchaikovsky, there it is. Arrangers, same thing. So if I know that Jay Bocook arranged this Tchaikovsky work, I can type that in here. Publishers are also available, and with all drop-downs, if you start typing while you have that selected, it will then go to where you want to go, or at least close to it, so you can manually choose which way you want to go. You could add more publishers in the options area of the system, which we'll go to in a little bit. Numbers of copy, cost of record. Please notice that the grade level and state list are not drop-downs. These are whatever you want to type in, because everybody wants to kind of rate their pieces, and every state has a different state list way of organizing. And so you want to be able to draw from that yourselves, and those entries will then populate your search function. So if I go through here and I title this A New Piece, okay, I have one copy of it. It costs $90. It is a grade level of really hard because I want to put that in and because I can. And then the state list, we'll put this as group 1. And then I can paste in media links here. Okay, make sure when you do that you also put in the HTTP or HTTPS, because it's going to form a link for you in the dropdown as you saw before when you look at the details. You can then choose the location of the piece. Okay, some of those are the standard locations. Some of them are custom locations, which we'll talk about in the options area. Voicing, same thing. Standards and customized voicings are available. Let's say that this is going to be at the high school. It is for concert band, and it is a folk song. We'll say folk song. Okay, I can then go through and choose a prefix for my library ID if you want. I like to choose C for concert band and J for jazz band, or P for pep band, or M for marching band. All of them are available. And then you can type in a number that corresponds with your list. If you're not using a numbering system for your music library, I strongly suggest it. That way you can add to the end without having to shove something in the middle to try to keep it in alphabetical order. If you're using My Music Office to search, you'll be able to find it real quickly anyways. Purchase date, click here, and then you will see a calendar will pop up. You can choose the date in which you're putting it on, or which you made the purchase. Purchase from, we'll say J.W. Pepper. Performance info, well, we haven't performed it yet. We can leave it blank. And if I haven't performed it yet, I can also leave the last performance date blank. because that will obviously be a very useful tool later on after you perform the piece of music. And then, of course, you can put any comments you want in there as well. Under here, you can choose to either return to the music library after you enter this or return to this screen to put another one in the database. Not usually do we buy just one piece of music at a time. So that allows you to put multiple pieces in without having to go back to the main screen. But in this case, we'll go back to the main screen. I enter the piece of music. And then if I click on A or go down, here it is, a new piece. Okay, if I wanted to search for a piece of music, I could then go through here and type piece, start my search, and then notice not only was a new piece selected, but so was pick up the pieces, both the little big band and full big band versions that are in the library. You can also quick title select or sort within this view as well. If you want to refine your search because you wanted to add more to it, like this is the one that was arranged by Beau Cook. Now I've just whittled it down. You can see the details of the piece right here. You don't have to go back. You can also go to the edit screen from here as well. If you want to start a new search, click here and a brand new search window will pop up for you. Super easy. You can also search, of course, by voicing. If I wanted to find a jazz band Latin chart, and let's say I want a jazz band Latin that's on the Group 3 list. Well, there's the listing of Group 3 Latins. And I can go here to Hola Señor Loco by Victor Lopez, and I can see it's a grade 3 Latin. Wonderful. That might be something I want to play. Let's check out this Tiger of San Pedro. Well, this one we just played in 2018, so I may want to wait a couple more years before we pull that one back out. All of that information is stored in here for you. In the reports area, this is where you can make a paper copy of anything you need to be able to print out. So if I wanted to do a list of things by title, there it is. And notice all the fields on here are the fields we really need to use as music educators. With myself being a music educator, it's really easy to be able to kind of go and think, oh, what do I really need to know when I'm looking at a printout? Well, I need to know the voicing. I need to know what type of piece it is, the grade level, and the state list. Those are the things I'm really going to use the most. Obviously, there's quite a few other standard reports already here. Music Performance Date Report is a great report. This actually, in reverse order, shows you everything you've played in reverse date order. So going from the soonest to the latest, and you'll be able to, or the earliest, excuse me, and you can then see all the pieces that you've played, and you can decide, oh, you know what? Yeah, I get it. We haven't played that one in a while. We probably should pull that one back out. You can then do a custom report down here. So let's say I just want to do a report of all my concert band marches on grade level 4, and I can sort them by composer. I'm going to say marches by composer. Generate the report, and then here it is, alphabetized by composer, all of the marches that are in the system, and obviously a lot of them on the Group 1 list, so I have lots to choose from if that's what the level I'm performing in my state. The Assign tool allows you to assign a piece of music to either an ensemble or a student. So if I go up here to Assign to a student, it then gives me a listing of all of my students. I can choose the student. Nothing's been assigned to that person yet, but I can go here and here's a list of all of my pieces. I can then say, you know what, follow me needs to be assigned to the student, and I can once again look at the details here if I wish, and then I can also return the pieces when it's been turned in or unassigned by clicking on the minus tool. The transfer tool in any database is the ability to upload or download from that particular database. So if I wanted to download all of the data from my music library, I can then check or uncheck any of these columns that I want. Click here, and the system has now made you a text file of that data. That text file can easily be put into Microsoft Excel, and then made into like box labels or anything else, or transferred into a different system if you would rather use a different system for something else having to do with the music library. In the transfer function, you also have the upload choice. Right here is a template. You download this template. It's basically like a blank spreadsheet. Copy and paste all of your data in there from whatever system you're coming from, probably an Excel spreadsheet of some point or of some sort, or an export from a system. All you do is paste it in, and then down here at the bottom, choose File, choose it, and send it up, and boom, you have automatically entered all of your stuff into the system. You do need to make sure you paste it in here because the system has to know some order in order which to receive it, and you need to follow the rules as listed here to make sure that all of the parts that you want to show up with no problem. If you ever have a problem with an upload, if it says it's not accepted for some reason, do not hesitate to contact us either in a help desk ticket or a webmaster@mymusicoffice.com, and I'll be more than happy to assist you in getting that into the system. We're happy to help. In the options area, you can see that you have the options to choose your ensembles that you wish to be displayed when you see an ensemble. I'm a band director, so I don't really need to see the orchestra or choir choices. But if I was an orchestra director, I could get rid of both the band and the choir choices and really just be able to see what I want to see mixed in along with my custom ensembles that I've created. So if you have a blue band or a black band or something like that, you can then type that in, blue band, for like the colors of your school, and then hit add. And now that's in there. When you go look at the ensembles, you'll see that blue band will now show up in there. And if I want to get rid of it, just simply go select that choice and hit delete. Done. Gone. Right here under the music library options, this is where you can add publishers, voicings, music types, and locations into the system. All you do is simply add them over here. And once again, if you want to delete one, choose the one you want to delete and then hit delete. It also shows you the standard list over here to make sure you're not duplicating something. We try to keep our publishers up to date as we go, as they go in and out of existence, if you will. But if you need one to add in one, you can do it right here. So that gives you an overview of the music library section. It is an incredibly powerful tool. And as I said, you do music selection probably more than anything else throughout the year. So it's important that you have a nice system that keeps you very organized. And we think My Music Office Music Library will do exactly that. Once again, My Music Office starts only at $199 a year. If you do 3 years, you save $100. And if you do 5 years, you save $200, basically a free year. By far, My Music Office is the most affordable choice on the market. And it is by far the easiest to use. And we hope that you'll start a free trial or subscribe today. Thanks. Have a great rest of your school year.